This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you. The White House Correspondents' Dinner was last night, and President Biden jokes about his low poll numbers as well as roasts a few GOP members. I'll play you the video clips of what happened there. Democrats want a gas tax holiday and not the legislation that Pelosi and Schumer are putting forth to lower the gas prices. I'll give you the latest stimulus news like this: 73,000 checks worth up to $1,200 going out now, and for stimulus check update, push for more money stalled in Congress. President Biden may do an executive order for student loan forgiveness, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So, vulnerable Democrats press Pelosi to reverse rejection of gas tax holiday. So, basically, there was talk about the gas tax holiday and even gas cards, rebate cards, gas cards with money on it that would go out to everybody federally. So either one of those aren't going to give a short-term relief in terms of gas. The legislation that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer want to put in place is to penalize the oil companies. So that is probably getting to the root of it, but it's not going to help the gas prices that are going on right now. That the legislation that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are going for is going to probably take a longer time, but it may solve the actual problem. But what Democrats are saying is, I guess they're focused on things that would be helpful, but they're longer term, and I'm focused on the shorter term. And I think that if they came to my district, they would see we have a short-term need that needs to be addressed. When they're referring to the short-term versus long-term, short-term would be a gas tax holiday as well as gas cards being distributed to everybody on a federal level. So they're not going that route, at least Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, saying another thing here is another supporter of the gas tax holiday echoed those concerns, characterizing the proposal as the most immediate way that we could deliver some much needed relief in terms of the gas tax proposal. So these are what some of the Democrats are saying. At this point, we don't know what's going to happen, but the way legislation goes is probably going to be a long, drawn-out process. I'll keep you updated on that. And Biden considering student loan forgiveness of at least $10,000 per borrower through executive action. So looks like President Biden sort of coming around when it comes to student loan forgiveness. President Biden is considering a plan to forgive $10,000 in student debt. Biden wanted to pass a debt relief bill through Congress, but is now mulling an executive order. So originally wanted to have it go through Congress. Many Republicans are probably not going to go for that, and it's probably going to get stalled in Congress for many months, as we've seen. So that's why progressives are pushing for an executive action, which may happen, which means he could do it immediately. He could say tomorrow, student loans are forgiven through executive action, and that's it. But it's probably going to wait until the midterm elections are coming up so that the Democrats could get more votes for the House and the Senate. Also, President Biden changing his mind on student loan forgiveness is a tremendous victory, according to Democrat Representative Presley, saying, "All we know is that the president has expressed an openness to cancel some debt that in itself is a tremendous victory." So I know they wanted 50,000, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So Biden allies keep up pressure for $50,000 in student loan relief. This is from Representative Clyburn of South Carolina, says forgiving school debt would help the economy. More specifically, said when you see a student coming out of college, law school, or professional schools with $130,000, $150,000 in debt, that cripples the economy in more ways than one. So to the extent to which you could give more relief or some relief, I think will stimulate the economy in many ways. So we'll see what happens when it comes to student loan forgiveness. Let me know down in the comments below. Student loan forgiveness, good idea, bad idea, through executive action, through Congress. What are your thoughts on all this? It's a really interesting argument, but I think it's going to take a little longer for it to actually happen. It's just they just planted the seed and seeing what happens out of it. Also, Joe Manchin appears in campaign ad for GOP lawmaker up against Trump-backed challenger. So, looks like Joe Manchin, he's sort of independent, leans a little more right than most Democrats. And what Manchin says here in the ad is, "I've always said if I can't go home and explain it, I can't vote for it. And that's why I opposed Build Back Better. For Alex Mooney and his out-of-state supporters to suggest David McKinley supported Build Back Better is an outright lie." So he said this in an ad supporting a Republican member. What do you think? Joe Manchin supporting a Republican? Is this okay? Because, politics is politics. You could go on both sides of the aisle. He likes to side with Democrats, Republicans, or should he just stick with the Democrats? What are your thoughts on all this? I would like to see more Democrats mingling with Republicans, more Republicans mingling with Democrats. But let me know your thoughts on that. Next, when it comes to stimulus checks, so fourth stimulus check update, push for more money stalled in Congress. We've seen throughout the past year or so that a lot of different stimulus bills have been put forth through Congress only to have gone nowhere. So in terms of the gas checks, where it's like $100 a month, up to $300 a month, that's not going anywhere. Fourth stimulus check of $2,000, that's not going anywhere. It's just a lot of that stuck in Congress. The Social Security Act, which is going to raise Social Security for a lot of recipients, that is stalled as well. So a lot of different measures that have been stalled up in Congress, unfortunately. But when it comes to other state stimulus checks, we're starting to see more of that. Stimulus check update how some families stand to receive $2,000 checks. So this is going on in Pennsylvania. The governor, Tom Wolf, keeps pushing basically every few days for $2,000 stimulus checks to be sent out to everyone in Pennsylvania who makes less than $50,000, and then $50,000 to $30,000, $1,500 checks, which is a lot of money. Let me know your thoughts on that. And then stimulus, 73,000 checks worth up to $1,200 going out now. This is just referring to the Golden State California stimulus check 1 and 2. So the check amounts are between $1,100 and $1,200 for couples, but either $500 or $600, or $600 for the first one, and then $600 for the second, and an extra $500 for a dependent with the second one. So that's where this $1,200 is going out to 73 people who haven't gotten it yet. And then the White House Correspondent dinner was more of a I guess, joking, light-hearted type of dinner. So Biden jokes Trump was a horrible plague in remarks at White House Correspondents' dinner. Said a few things that got some boos as well. Also, Biden jokes about low approval rating during his White House Correspondents' dinner. So yeah, take a look at these video clips right here. Here are like some of the highlights from the dinner, and let me know what you think about this.
I'm really excited to be here tonight with the only group of Americans with a lower approval rating than I have.
It is my great honor to be speaking tonight at the nation's most distinguished super spreader event. No, for real, people, what are we doing here? Let's be honest, what are we doing? Like, did none of you learn anything from the gridiron dinner? Nothing, huh? Like, do you read any of your own newspapers? I mean, I expect this from Sean Hannity, but the rest of you, what are you doing here?
Just imagine if my predecessor came to this dinner this year. Now that would really have been a real coup if that occurred.
I mean, Dr. Fauci dropped out. That should have been a pretty big sign. Fauci thought it was too dangerous to come tonight. Pete Davidson thinks it's okay. And we all went with Pete. Okay. Really glad you could make it tonight, Jen. It's nice that you're willing to come over here and risk getting COVID for like, what, the 10th time now? Let me ask, how do you keep getting COVID, Jen? Like, your boss hooked us all up with free tests. Does he not have your address? What's going on there?
We're here to show the country that we're getting through this pandemic. Plus, everyone had to prove they were fully vaccinated and boosted. So if you're at home watching this and you're wondering how to do that, just contact your favorite Fox News reporter. They're all here, vaccinated and boosted, all of them.
I know everyone in this room is worried about who catches you laughing at what, but just chill, We're celebrating, we're out. You know, get comfortable. Not too comfortable, Jeffrey Toobin, not too comfortable. No, you know what? No, don't ooh him, bunch of haters. You know what? So what, Jeffrey? You made a mistake, you whipped it out in front of your coworkers. That's the first step to winning a Grammy for Comedy Album of the Year. You're halfway there, my friend. You don't let the haters stop you. We all come back from mistakes.
I'm not really here to roast the GOP. That's not my style. Besides, there's nothing I can say about the GOP that Kevin McCarthy hasn't already put on tape.
You know, sir, can I just say, I think everyone will agree that it's actually nice to once again have a president who's not afraid to come to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and hear jokes about himself. I'll be honest. If you didn't come, I totally would have understood. Yeah, because these people have been so hard on you, which I don't get. I really don't. I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. Unemployment is currently at 3.6%. Think about that, people. 3.6%, 2% if you don't count the Cuomo family.
Well, Billy, you're famous for your interviewing skills. Billy, you should know what you're doing, pal. You know it well. And I think you should hope Meets the Press. Maybe they start to watch it again. I've never had to open. I'll never be invited to Meet the Press again. Anyway.
Fun fact, Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhart are actually dating now. Yes. Yeah, and I actually think it's beautiful to see an office romance at Fox that won't end in a $20 million settlement. Yeah. I'm sure wherever Roger Ailes is right now, he's looking up and smiling. Every single one of you, whether you like it or not, is a bastion of democracy. And if you ever begin to doubt your responsibilities, if you ever begin to doubt how meaningful it is, look no further than what's happening in Ukraine. Look at what's happening there. Journalists are risking and even losing their lives to show the world what's really happening.
Where the truth is buried by lies and the lies live on as truth. What's clear, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that you, the free press, matter more than you ever did in the last century. I really mean it.
What are your thoughts about what was said at that dinner? Is it okay to joke about these type of things? Is it okay to be lighthearted and poke fun at each other? President Biden poking fun at himself? What are your thoughts on all this? Or should this type of thing be more of a serious occasion and talk about politics? Let me know your thoughts on all that. That is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, so my name is Bella. This is the tip of the day. If you make a mistake, then it's okay. You learn from your mistake, it makes you a better person. So it's okay. It's okay. We still love you. We like you a lot. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. So yesterday we got to go to a really cool festival. It was a dragon boat paddle festival where a bunch of high school kids were rowing their boats at a little kind of lake near us. It was pretty cool. Got to see that. That was nice. And hopefully you had a great weekend. If you want to check out any of my latest videos on my other channels, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.